afternoon and welcome to today's Siesta Show. Well, curtains in Spain, where do you start? Today we're here with a soft furnishing seamstress, Elizabeth, and she's going to teach us all about getting your curtains sorted in Spain. Now, Elizabeth, how long have you been out here for?
I've been out here for 4 years.
And is that what you've done since you've come here?
Yes.
Your clients, what do they tend to be? Are they...
Mainly English, but Spanish as well. I don't speak that much Spanish, so mainly English.
Okay,
Yeah.
what are the differences in people's sort of curtain requirements here compared to the UK?
Well, over here, because of all the marble flooring, people tend to have, and all the windows are usually down to the floor like patio windows, people tend to have nicer quality curtains than I would say that they do in the UK, like padded lining, interlining, blackout lining, so it stops the sun. Whereas a lot of the curtains in the UK are mainly for show, because you've got all the carpet on the floor. Over here you do need a bit more softness to the room because of the echo. So the curtains are usually quite a big focal point, and then the client will have a rug or something alongside to blend in with that.
Now, you mentioned that you've had Spanish clients and English clients. Do Spanish clients have different tastes to the English?
Yes, definitely. They're more bolder patterns, simpler designs, straightforward curtain, just a straightforward set of curtains on a pole. The English clients will have like swags and tails, pelmets, valances, trimming on the end of it, sort of coordinated, all matching in and blending in to their furniture.
Now, when people come to you for curtains, do most people have an idea of what they want, or do you have to guide them?
Yeah, most people have a rough idea of what they want, but you've got to adapt that to the window. So it's not always the case, you know, if somebody's got 4 or 5 windows in their lounge, like they may have, to put swags and tails up on every window, that would be just a bit too overwhelming. So you've got to adapt that to what they need really, and look at the window, the style of the home, and sort of say, well, this might look better. What do you think about that? And they usually take a little bit of advice, but more often than not, it's a compromise between the two, unless the situation is perfect, and then whatever they want they can have, and that's fine.
Now, it's not just curtains that you do all other bits and pieces, don't you? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I do bedding, headboards, cushions to match your the curtains and that sort of thing, bed valances, cushion covers.
So what do people usually do? Do they provide their own material, their own fabric, or will you source it for them?
Well, it's a combination of both. I've got a selection of fabrics myself from here in Spain. I've also got contacts in the UK that I can get hold of fabrics. If a customer comes over and says they've seen something in the UK, we can source that through the internet. And shops I've worked for in the UK in the past, I've got their contacts so I can get hold of stuff. Also, if they've seen fabric they want, they may have brought it over from the UK or found some here, then I can say, look, this is how much we need for the job, for this particular window. Go and buy your own fabric. I can provide the lining and the tape, heading tapes and that sort of thing to get the job completed.
So, you know these big reels of fabric that you see in the market, would you recommend those for curtain making? Yeah,
it's the quality of it is okay, but it's just a little bit dated, I think. You know, Spain is a little bit behind with the top-notch designs. You know, the market is very basic stuff, and what we've seen maybe 30 years ago in the UK, it's not something I would put in my home. It's not very attractive, I don't think, but you know, some of the plain fabrics are okay. It's more the pattern stuff that I don't think is very tasteful.
So even though you're out here in Spain, do you keep up to date with the latest trends in the UK? How do you do that then?
Well, it's just we've got the English TV. You see on the TV shows and the magazines and stuff what's coming in and what's sort of going out, and the colours. I go back and forth to the UK quite a bit, and I'm always looking in the furniture and fabric stores because that is what I love. And matching all things together, so you sort of see what's coming in and what's going. It's not ideal to choose something that's in the top of fashion, because next year it could be completely out.
Right.
But for your home, you don't want to be changing curtains especially made-to-measure curtains. You want to keep them up for at least 5 to 10 years.
You were saying that when you first came here, all the little bits and pieces like the trims and that were really hard to get hold of. Has that improved?
A little bit, but that's because mainly all the people I am in contact with here, they order that from the UK. So even the Spanish people are not up to date with some of the tassel tiebacks, the tassel fringing. There's a huge range of that in the UK, but there's not a huge range here at all. It hasn't improved that much. But now with the post, you can get stuff over here pretty straightforward. So, and companies in the UK will supply over here. So that's mainly how we get hold of the stuff.
These poles that you can buy in Leroy Merlin, are they any good? What's the quality of those?
Yeah, they're not fantastic. I've got a supplier here in Spain that I get the poles and tracks from. Leroy Merlin, you do get what you pay for. But, if you're here on holiday and using your accommodation as a rental property, then it's fine. But, the Leroy Merlin wood poles, they're not going to be lasting for the next 5 or 10 years. Some people don't want that. They just want something up straight away. With the sun over here, like some of the fabrics, the sun in the summer just rots and the poles end up warping and the fabric just ends up getting rotten and stuff. So, it's better to buy a quality product in the first place if you can. But, they will last a certain amount of time.
Well, if you're going to invest in a decent pair of curtains, you might as well get a decent pole to go with it.
Well, this is the problem. I've made curtains, customers will say I want curtains, blackout lining or padded lining to stop the light when the curtains are closed in the day and they go off to work, or they're here by the pool in the day. They want to close the curtains because it totally blocks the sun out. It's a fantastic way of keeping the sun out so your room stays cool. We've put curtains like that up on Leroy Merlin poles, for example, and the pole is bending straight away. The quality is just not there. So you've got to have a decent quality pole to hold a decent quality pair of curtains, definitely.
So taking care of your curtains, how do you wash them, and what are the... In Spain, I guess, because it's sunnier, they're more prone to bleaching. And so how do you take care of your curtains in Spain?
Well, you can take them to the dry cleaners, but what I recommend is basically a double installation in the window, which is a set of voiles first and foremost, and then a set of curtains. So you can keep the voiles closed all the time and allows the sun through, and then if it's really sunny in the summer, close the curtains then. But mainly put blackout lining on, because that just completely blocks the sun coming in. So the blackout line is designed to reflect the sun. So the fabric there then, that is what you're looking at and what you're spending most of the money on, is protected.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Elizabeth. Elizabeth obviously knows her stuff. If anyone has any questions, can they email them to you or call you or whatever? We'll put your details up. Okay, thank you very much for joining us today, Elizabeth. Okay, well, we're back next week. So see you then. Bye.